Welcome to Guide Mia. Today we're going to talk about what to do when a Cympha case share email lands in your inbox. This one is for clinicians, general dentists, specialists, referring doctors who just got a message saying a colleague shared a dental case with them, and who may never have touched Cympha before. In the next few minutes you'll know how to claim the shared case, where it appears in your account, exactly what you can and can't do with it because shares are read-only, and what to do if the dashboard looks empty. The first time through takes about 5 minutes, including sign-up. Every share after that takes under a minute. Follow along on screen, or just listen now and read later. Let's get started. First, make sure you're holding the right email. A case share email names the colleague who shared and the patient, and it carries a button linking to the case. It means exactly one thing: someone wants you to see a case they own. It is not a design approval request, not a status update, and not a patient invitation. If your email is about one of those, you're looking at a different notification, and there's a different guide for it. The approval one in particular has its own lecture in this series, so if what you actually received was a request to approve a design, go watch that instead. A share is read-only by design. You'll be able to open the case, read it, and download its files, but never change it. And the whole thing runs in a normal browser on a phone or a laptop. There is nothing to install for read-only review, and nothing to pay, just to look at what your colleague sent you. You need 3 things, and one of them matters far more than people expect. First, the original email from Cympha telling you a colleague shared a case with you. Second, and this is the important one, the exact email address the share was sent to. The share is tied to that address, character for character. If you sign in with a different one, the dashboard will look empty even though the share exists, and that single mistake is behind most of the confusion around this workflow. Third, a phone or a laptop with a current browser. Cympha runs in the browser, and for read-only review there is nothing to install at all. One more thing before you go looking: if a colleague mentioned they shared a case with you but no email ever arrived, check your spam folder for messages from Cympha. Corporate mail filters quite often hold the very first message from a sender they haven't seen before. Step 1. Open the email and click the button that links to the case. What happens next depends on where you already stand. If you are already signed into Cympha on that exact email address, the case detail page simply loads and you're done in one click. If you're not signed in, Cympha bounces you to the sign-in page. We'll handle that in a moment. And if you don't have a Cympha account at all yet, you'll sign up with the recipient address, and the share will be waiting for you on the dashboard when you get there. Now here's the tip that saves the most support calls, and I want to say it plainly: don't retype the email address yourself. Cympha matches the share by email, by the exact string the sharer typed, and using the link from the message preserves that address for you. Typing it from memory is exactly how people end up on a slightly different address and an empty dashboard. Step 2, and it splits 2 ways. If you already have a Cympha account, sign in with the email and password you set up previously, or with Google or Microsoft, if that's how you originally joined. Use whichever method you used the first time. If this is your first time on Cympha, it's 3 short steps. From the sign-in page, click the sign up link or go straight to app.cympha.com/sign-up. Then use the same email address the share was sent to, because Cympha matches the share by the exact email string. This is the same warning as before, and it's the last time I'll say it. Then set a password or continue with Google or Microsoft and confirm the verification code that Cympha sends to your inbox. The whole sign-up takes under 2 minutes, and no payment is required just to view a shared case. There is no card, no trial, no plan to choose. Step 3. After sign-in you land on app.cympha.com, that's your case dashboard. The shared case appears as a row, showing the patient's name and the current status, with a small badge reading shared sitting right next to the patient name. That badge is the whole trick for telling your rows apart. Cases you own, cases you created or submitted yourself, do not carry the shared badge, so at a single glance you always know which row came from a colleague and which one is yours. If the dashboard is empty instead, don't panic, and please don't start creating a new case to compensate. The most common cause by far is signing in with a different address than the one the share went to, and we'll walk through the exact fix in the troubleshooting section near the end of this lecture. Before you open the case, it's worth knowing what you've actually been given, because this share is not a snapshot. 3 things happen from here. First, the case stays on your dashboard even after the original doctor approves or finishes it. The share remains, so you can come back weeks later and reread the whole thing. Second, the dashboard row updates as the case advances, as it moves from designing, to awaiting approval, to approved and onward. Your row's status badge updates right along with it, without you doing anything. And third, you can view but you cannot write. Shared access is deliberately read-only. The case owner uploads the files and makes the approval decisions. Your job is to advise them outside the platform. So think of this as a window into the case for its whole life, not a one-time file drop. Step 4. Click the row, and the case detail page loads with these panels. The header shows the patient name, the status badge, the category, that's orthodontics, implant, AlignerBot, or lab service, and, again, the shared badge. The Files panel lists every file attached to the case, each with download and preview actions. As a shared, read-only recipient you can view and download files, but you cannot upload. The activity log shows the case history exactly as the doctor sees it: status changes, assignment changes, and uploads. And you'll also see a notice on the page reminding you that this case was shared with you. You can view it, but you can't upload files. That notice isn't an error, and it isn't something to work around. It is simply the honest description of what a share is. Step 5 is the one that surprises people, so let's be direct about it. A colleague share is strictly read-only. There is no comment box, no chat access, and no other write action for share recipients. The share exists so that you can see the case, and that is all. So how do you deliver the second opinion you were asked for? The ordinary way. To pass along a second opinion, referring dentist context, or QA observations, contact the case owner directly, by phone, by email, or however you normally reach them, or ask them to relay your notes to the lab on your behalf. The case owner holds the case and makes every decision on it. That includes routing decisions, clinical decisions, and approvals. You are advising a colleague, not driving their case, and the software is built to keep that line clear. Now, a share can also end, and you should know how that looks so it doesn't alarm you. Any participant on the case, and note that's any participant, not only the person who shared it with you, can click Stop Sharing in the case's share dialog. That single click revokes every colleague share on the case at once. When it happens, the case disappears from your dashboard, and the link in the original email stops working. There is no warning email, and no notification of any kind. The row simply vanishes. So if a case you were reading yesterday isn't there today, this is very likely what happened, and it isn't a bug. Reach out to the case owner if you think it happened by mistake. They can share the case with you again in a few seconds. Let's work through the troubleshooting list, starting with the 3 problems about getting in. Problem 1, my dashboard is empty after sign-in. You almost certainly sign up with a different email than the one the share was sent to. Sign out, that's the top right menu, then sign out, then go back to the original email and use its link, because the link carries the correct address. If you genuinely need the share moved to a different address, ask the case owner to reshare to your new email. Problem 2, the link in the email won't load the case. The share may have been revoked, meaning someone on the case clicked Stop Sharing. Ask the case owner to open the case's share dialog and add your email again. A fresh email goes out immediately. Problem 3, I can see the row but I can't open the case. Refresh the page. If sharing was stopped while you had the dashboard open, the row disappears on the next refresh, and again, ask the case owner to share the case again if you still need access. And then 2 more entries on the list, which aren't really faults at all. They're the boundary of what a share is. First, I want to upload an STL or a CBCT archive. Sharing is read-only by design. There is no writable share type, no setting to turn on, no permission the owner can grant you. Email the files to the case owner and they can upload on your behalf. And that boundary exists for a good reason. It prevents an accidental upload from the wrong person breaking a case in the middle of design. Second, I want to recommend a different lab. Tell the case owner directly. They hold the case, and they make every routing decision on it. In both situations the answer is the same shape. The case owner is the one with the controls, so hand them what you have and let them act on it. And that's the whole workflow. Click the link in the email, sign in or sign up with the recipient address, find the row carrying the shared badge, open it, read the header, the files, and the activity log, and take your feedback to the case owner directly. About 5 minutes the first time, including sign up, and under a minute for every share after that. One last reminder, because it really does solve most problems, the share lives on one exact email address, so whenever something looks wrong, check which address you're signed in with before you check anything else. And if the email you received turns out to have been an approval request rather than a share, the guide for that one is called Approve or Reject a Design. Everything you heard today is written down, step by step, with every notice and every troubleshooting fix, in the How to Docs at Cympha.com. Open the Docs section and look for I just got a Cympha case share email. If a colleague is sending you cases, chances are you'll be submitting your own before long, so subscribe for the rest of the series. We're walking through every Cympha workflow, one lecture at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.